Hello, welcome back to the channel. This is a video to record what is the second or third new army for 2025. This is Necrons, and the majority of these were bought as a job lot from eBay, and I think you'll pretty quickly be able to see which are which, but the eBay purchase came to about 1,500 points. So I purchased, I think it was a couple of combat patrols and the original contents of the 8th edition launch box. Could have been 9th, can't remember. But basically when that launched, then I sold the contents of that box because I didn't intend to collect Necrons, but I saw the entire contents half of that launch box on eBay, and I thought, okay, I'll rebuy it and add it to the eBay job lot and create 2,000 points. But as is the way, a little bit here, a little bit there, and there is about 3,500 points worth of Necrons at the moment. So the nucleus of the eBay purchase was 2 squads of 20 Necrons, which they're old school with the plastic gauze weapons. Not yet familiar with all the names, but basically, yeah, they are as you see them. But the way I've tried to do it is I'm intending to lean into the Awakened Dynasty, so have as many units led by a character. So there's 2 overlords there that need to be painted up to match in. So each of those will lead 20 warriors. I think I have got a copy of the 8th edition codex. I think lords and overlords, and there was a lot more options, but in 10th edition they stripped it back. So the couple that I got in the combat patrol, they're going to be attached to these. Again, as is my usual way, if I have a leader and a bodyguard, I try to run it consistently in as many battles as possible so that I can learn their strengths and weaknesses, rather than swapping characters in and out of different units and then confusing myself as to abilities, because it's always hard enough to track and follow as it is. Obviously at the front there's usual scarabs and stuff. I think there was I think a legal thing is 3 and 6 now, but there was 4 and 3 that came in the job lot, so that's why there's a strange number there. And then moving back, we've got 2 squads of mortals, one with the Reapers, one with the Blasters. A 10-man squad. I've attached a Royal Warden and the Pyromancer. Probably butchered that. Or Plasmancer, maybe that's him. Anyway, so he can join a unit that has a Royal Warden with it. So he's done that, and because he's a Cryptek unit, I can attach the 2 Crypto Thralls, which were a unit that can attach to a Cryptek and form an additional part of the bodyguard. How good they'll be, I don't know. They might just be ablative wounds, but they give him, and just him, a 4+ feel no pain. So if anyone wanted to, I suppose, snipe him out or precision him, then he benefits from that. I'm not 100% sure, but if the Immortals and the Royal Warden died and just those two models and him were forming a unit of their own, I guess that would still be allowable. Not sure, not played them yet, we'll see how we go. There's just a 5-man squad of the Immortals with Blasters. Again, have no clue what the Strengths and weaknesses of each gun are. I think they're low strength but plenty of shots. They might get lethal hits, which is obviously always handy. So yeah, see how they go. Apparently tomb blades are not very good in 10th edition, but I think that's either 2 squads of 3 or 1 squad of 6. Again, not run them yet. There's no leaders. They won't be in the Awakened Dynasty for the foreseeable future. Similarly with the death marks, I do remember facing those in 8th edition and with my Marines, and I think they were quite handy at taking out characters and leaders as a sniper unit. But as far as 10th edition goes, I found that snipers are not very good. They might have a standard or typical 2+ to hit, but then when you're trying to snipe a character that is higher than strength 5 with multiple wounds, then snipers don't really do what it says on the tin, so they're not going to see much action for a while. The wraiths are good. Again, it could be a unit of 3 or a unit of 6, or sorry, 2 units of 3 or 1 unit of 6. But because my job lot included 2 technomancers, and they can join those, I think that will always be my intention to run it as 2 units of 3. It might not be the best way, but it will make me consistently know when I'm putting a list together that points wise 3 wraiths and a technomancer equals, and I don't know what that is off the top of my head, but that would be like one of the building blocks to put a list together. The last 2 units on this side which came with the job lot was an Annihilation Barge and a Doomsday Ark, which I've, you can just about see, rebased because they came on the clear round plastic bases. I think at least one of them had snapped off. I hate those things, so they got rebased onto something a bit bigger, sturdier, and yeah, I don't do tournaments, so no one can pull me up on the incorrect base size for those 2. Coincidentally, I think 2 or 3 of the tomb blades were on those plastic flying stands, but I've just basically glued them onto standard 32mm round bases so that they also can have magnets underneath to put them into my useful boxes as storage. So yeah, so that's everything from the eBay purchase, apart from a couple of characters which I've ported over to the new models, which I'll go over to now. These are very much work in progress, but just about tabletop ready. First battle's going to be later on this week, so we'll see how we go. Because of all the warriors and things, I got 2 full units of 6 scarabs. 6 might be better than 3, might not. I think they're good for screening. You can blow one up, all of that. So see how we go with that. And then I did what would be for the whole army a 3rd 20-man warrior unit led by an overlord. And you've probably noticed, but I've built all the overlords the same, with the tachyon arrow and the overlord blade. I think that's it, but again, it's just so that I know what a unit's strengths and weaknesses are. So 3 lots of 20 warriors, each with the same overlord, will allow me to, as quick as is possible, know what a unit can do in terms of abilities and etc. And then behind them are 2 squads of 10 warriors with the other gun. I'm going to say it's another form of Reaper. It could be a carbine, can't remember. But those are 2 squads of 10, because I didn't think that having another squad of 20 with the, I'm going to call it rapid fire short range version was going to give me any options. But 2 squads of 10 with lots and lots of shots, short range, can do things like hold my home objective in the backfield, screening out, that sort of utility. And each of those I've had led by Overlord with trans relocation shroud. So basically these 2 models were part of the job lot. They were probably just lords or overlords in 7th or 8th edition, but these 2 models have both got cloaks, so shrouds, and they've both got resurrection orbs, so that again helps me to be consistent, to know that they're 2 of the same unit data sheet. I think the only difference that I could say is that their weapons are, one's a scythe and one's more of a spear, but apart from that they'll be just overlords with the shrouds. So coming backwards, we've got Scorpec Destroyer Lord and 6 of the destroyers, which are quite a powerful unit. From what I've seen from battle reports on YouTube, they're always auto take. And then a unit of 3, I've swapped out models so that I've got the 6-man squad with a weapon in each hand and the 3-man squad with a 2-handed version. Again, I think in previous editions there was a difference between those, but now they're just called, you know, blades. So that will just help me identify the units more easily if they all get into melee together. And then the plasma sights. Anyway, the 3 little models next to them are another one of those things in this edition which it's just a token. It hasn't got a profile. It's merely a reminder that an ability can be had once per battle, and for these I think it's give them devastating wounds. So the 3-man squad can do it once, 6-man squad can do it twice. So that's those. And then Canoptic Reanimator. So again, I think that was one that came with the launch box. So that's brought him into the collection. And then 2 Doom Sides. So they must have been with the combat patrols. So 2 of them will be handy, I've no doubt. So that's those. And last but not least, a Monolith. Obviously, it's a big load of points and will probably be a big bullet magnet. But obviously, I'm collecting Necrons, kind of had to have one. And yeah, that one is probably got a little bit more paint on it than the other new models. But start big, work down. So over the next few months I'll play battles, then take units or squads home, add a bit more paint to them. The job lot was pretty well painted. I don't think I can match that standard, but I'll copy it as close as I can so that there is unity between them. And they'll look better on the table together. Obviously, first out onto the painting table will be the characters that go with the well painted models, tie them in a bit better so that yeah, they don't look too odd on the battlefield. Okay, I think that's it for now. So as always, thank you for watching.